Hi guys, and welcome to my beginner's project. So this project is a password generator. I was looking through a lot of projects online and I was just looking through some beginner projects that I could do that would involve me utilizing a for loop, while loops, if else statements, and functions, return values, that sort of stuff. So I felt like a password generator like this would make a lot of sense to utilize all those things for. Interestingly enough, the website that I found this project idea from didn't tell me exactly what functions would be best to use for it, so I kind of just created it along the way. Um, it did tell me, it should have several inputs. And so those inputs would be, how long should the password be? Should it have both upper and lowercase letters? And should it include numbers and special symbols? So let's start with my script here. So of course I started with import random. I then started with defining the password generator. So with this function, I had a print statement about, choose your password. Thanks for choosing this generator. And then I have some inputs that are looped so that, if they have, if I'm asking them, okay, how long will the password be? Please enter a number between 10 to 15. And if they enter something else that is not a number, then it would raise a value error. And then we have a value error printed out here. And so this is kind of, I wouldn't say copy and paste, because some of these things change up. Some of the conditions change up. As you see, this one is if password length is greater than or equal to 10. And then over here, this condition is if lower and upper equates to yes or no, break, whatnot. So it is kind of a copy and paste with these two here. And so we just continued down here. And here is the last input I asked, should it include numbers and special symbols? Yes and no. So these two are more so the same rather than these two compared to this one. And then at the bottom here, I have a return value from all of the inputs we have for password length, lower and upper, and number special symbols. I have a return value for it, and I assign this whole function to user value. So in the next function is the password creator. So I take whatever is in the user value. Mind you, this all comes out into a tuple. So with that in mind, I take whatever is in the user value and create a list from user value with various outputs. So now this is where everything kind of just comes together. So here I have an open list here, I have random number list, and I have a random password list. And then of course, the first thing I did was convert the user value into a list. And then I place these in here. From there, I went into formulating what that password would look like. So first you start off with the user value at 0. So if whatever the user chose for their password length, I decided to multiply it by a, and that would be assigned to formulated password. And so you change formulated password into a list. And then for every X in listed formulated password, then you choose a random variable. So let's say they chose a password length of A. Then there would be like 11 A's here, right? Because you're multiplying it by the user value at point 0, or at index 0, sorry. So there would be 11 A's there. And then at each A, you're going to choose a random choice from this list, from random pass list. So at A1, it could be any random letter here. Then it goes to A2, the next letter, and then the next letter, and then the next letter. So it chooses random letters from this list. And then you append it to the final list, which is final pass. Now the next step here is to modify that list, final pass, into upper and lowercase letters. So that was the next input I had. So if the value at 1, index 1 in user value equates to yes, then at that point they want their list to be upper and lowercase letters. So here I put pass because as you see in this random pass list here, what we've already appended into the final pass, there are various upper and lowercase letters. Like somehow, some way, someone, if you want upper and lowercase letters, you're going to already have it in that list. Now, if someone just wants lowercase letters, then you would just, you just do another for loop here for X in final pass, then basically X equals X at lower, so that you're basically lowercasing all of the letters in that list. Now we move on to the next step, which is just special numbers and special symbols and numbers. So if user value at index 2 equates to yes, that means that they want special symbols and numbers in their password as well. So for password 3, I kind of chose it at random indexes inside the final password list. So it would be a random choice inside the number list that goes for index 3, 10, and 6. So it's looping through it. Well, it's choosing at those spots to place a random choice at, or a random number choice at. And then here I have more so stationary points. And so always at index 2, 0, and the last index in final pass, there will be an at, exclamation mark, and percentage sign. And then also if someone chose not to have numbers or symbols in their password, then else pass. So these three, these are very stationary. They're not as, I guess you can say, they don't change as much as the other choices here, but I don't believe it should make a huge difference in your password security because everything else just will change drastically with each refresh that you do. So if these stay stationary, then, there's still so many combinations you could have. And then here I just reverted the final output, which is the final pass. I reverted that into a string. So I said final string is returned at final string.join of the return value, which is final pass. And then the ending password is password underscore creator, which is this function at user value. And that would be the ending password. So that's what you're going to call out when you finish and have your print value available for everybody to see. So at the end, you'll notice that it'll say your password is so-and-so. It'll be in a string format just because you returned it in a string inside the function. And then new line, stay safe. So there's my code, everybody. Sorry if when I was explaining, if I didn't make any sense anywhere, just let me know. And then I can go ahead and just send you back response. But here we have my code. Of course, I feel like it could be shorter. It could definitely be shorter. I honestly, at one point, it was much longer than this until I used for loops. But as a beginner code, I think it's pretty dynamic. There are areas where, like I had said initially, I can improve on, and of course, I always accept input. So if you see anything that needs to be changed, or if you see any errors, please let me know. This is a beginner program, and this is kind of my first program in Python. I've done a lot of Python exercises and books, but if there's something that you've noticed that could be better or it just comes out in an error, let me know so that I can go in and, redo that and make it better. All right. Thanks for listening. Bye.